Supernatural Season 12, Episode 7, Rock Never Dies. This episode really surprised me because, they're going through the whole thing and it's like, hey, the devil came back. That was the whole point of the episode, is that the devil came back, Lucifer is back, we have to figure out how the heck to get to him. Vincente, I can't ever say his name. Vince, though. He comes back and they're like, is this Lucifer? They don't really know because of everything that Rowena did. But they find out, of course, that it's him. Things are off. So they have to get to Lucifer. And somehow in my mind, I wasn't recognizing that they're going up against Lucifer. Like, this is a huge event until they got to the actual concert at the end of the episode. And it finally clicked. Like, the whole episode to me, I was like, this is just a nice episode. It's pretty fun. We get to see Lucifer kind of just living it up. He just wants to be famous and stuff like that. He just wants to see people do crazy stuff just because. And as it goes through, I'm like, this is a fun episode because it's like the devil's just being crazy. He's just doing, he just wants to be famous. That's what I thought it was. It was like he just wants to be famous. And then it seemed like his plan was to kind of kill all these people. And once they got to the concert, he would kind of just like wipe everybody out. So we go through all this stuff. Pretty fun episode. It definitely has some good funny moments to it. Especially Sam and Dean in the car when Sam was trying to lie and say like, oh, I'm listening to like a history thing. And Dean just pulls the plug out of it and he's like, oh my goodness. He was like, it's not, he was like, it's technically research. So I love that scene. They had some other funny moments. Cass complaining about being with Crowley all the time. He was like, it was just endless chatter. Like, he never stops talking. So definitely had some funny stuff in there. But they get to the concert and that's when it clicked for me. Like, they're going up against Lucifer. This is not just a Monster of the Week type of thing. This is, they found Lucifer again. They don't have Rowena to give any sort of help because she's out. She's like, nope, until you find him, I'm staying away. But she does show up in the next episode. And they get to the concert, and that's when things get like super chaotic because Lucifer is at the concert. He goes backstage, and so you have, I want to say the guy's name was Tommy, the guy who was kind of like their lead, like Cass's lead. So he's there and he's with the other two guys, and then Lucifer comes in as Vince, and the other two guys get up there like, our fearless leader and stuff, and he just snaps both their necks. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, I know he doesn't actually care about the music or anything, but I'm just like, why in the world would he, kill them off? Because typically, Lucifer doesn't kill people unless they annoy him. Like, he's really weird like that. It's like, sometimes you don't really know if he's actually going to kill somebody. Typically, yeah, but like that 1%, sometimes he'll just be like, I don't really care, and then he leaves, and you just don't know. So when he came in and he's just like, boom, and just killed him out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever, it was just like, what the heck is happening? And then he, he's threatening the other guy. Fortunately, or I thought it was fortunate, ultimately it doesn't make much of a difference, sadly, for the guy. But Cass and Crowley get in there to stop him from killing him at that point. And so, of course, they get beat up. Crowley gets super beat up, like he's all messed up by the end. But they go in and they try to distract him and stuff so that Sam and Dean can get all the people out of the club. And I love how that played out as well, where Dean's trying to be like, oh, I'm pretty sure I smell smoke. And the guy's like, are you sure you weren't just having a stroke or something? So he ends up arguing with that guy for a second, and that allows Sam to pull the fire alarm as Lucifer is just destroying Cass and Crowley. And he's able to fix that all up. And they also make a Jurassic Park reference when Lucifer says clever girls. That's from the first Jurassic Park. So he's, he's Lucifer, so he can pretty much do whatever, but he just does this, and it stops the alarm, and everything starts back up again. It's like, sweet, everybody's just piles back in. And so it just gets crazier, because he beats up Cass and Crowley, and I thought the guy was going to escape. Like, it was already kind of crappy, because it was like, he's just getting beat up and stuff, and it's like, I lost my friend. Clearly, I lost my friend, something's different. And then they get that little moment when Cass talks to him, he's like, hey, I got 2 daughters in college and stuff like that, and he's trying to escape, and I thought he was going to take off because, Lucifer's doing his thing. He's like, hey, who cares about him? I get to beat up Cass and Crowley again. And then he's like, hey, and he just snaps his neck and kills him. I was like, oh man, I thought at least he would live, like something good, or something neutral. I guess it wouldn't even be good, really, but I was like, I thought he'd at least make it. It's like, nope, boom, and he kills him before he gets out the door. And I was like, damn, that really sucks. He just killed them for just because he's Lucifer. It wasn't a part of any plan, which we really find out at the end. There was never even a plan, which has me really excited, to be totally honest. But it's just like sheer madness. Like, he just kills them off, and then he goes out to the crowd, and fortunately Dean is just like, F it, and he just, he shoots a gun off so that gets everybody to leave. And I never, I've never really seen them do this before, but apparently Sam was having like a Superman moment because Lucifer was trying to close the doors, and I guess you can just hold them open, because normally it's like, they make it seem like it's just impossible to stop anything that a demon does if they're like moving something, or like moving you, of course, like they pin people against walls or on the floor or whatever. I thought it was just like, it's magic based, so even if it's on an inanimate object, you can't fight against it. It's almost like, an impossible strength because it's magic based. So when he was holding the doors, I was like, oh, I never thought they could do that. I thought it was like, if the doors are closing, like, you would get smashed in between the doors if a demon decided to close the doors on you. So Sam was like pushing them open. I was like, oh, I didn't know they could actually do that. I thought it was, like I said, even inanimate objects, it's almost like an impossible magical force closing these doors, and there's no physical way you can fight that. But he did, and everybody got out, of course, except for our main characters. So Sam and Dean are facing against the devil. Crowley's just done for by that point. So Cass comes out, tries to take him out with the Angel Blade, and basically, he's just like, hey, I can kill all of you guys. It takes nothing. I can just snap my finger, you'd all be gone. Of course, it's television, so that's never going to happen. No villain just kills off the heroes, at least not permanently. Sometimes you might get a little twist, but, he's just like, I could, but I won't. And, his body's draining away because he's like, hey, what can I say? Dealing with you guys took a lot out of me. But he's like, I don't have a plan. Like, you want to know the plan? There is no plan. Like, I'm just doing whatever I want to do. And so the body's, fading away. It's just rotting and stuff. And he's like, you know what? Onwards and upwards. And so he jumps out of vents and he leaves the body to rot. So the whole band is just killed off. And I love the way they ended the episode because Dean is like, we didn't get him. We didn't get Lucifer, but we saved those people. So I call that a win. And Sam is like, I wouldn't. Like, yeah, we weren't trying to save Vince, because he even says that in the ending. It's like, we were never trying to save him to begin with. It's like, yeah, but still, we lost him, and that actually affected a ton of people, like the girl that literally carved her name into her, her own chest, just because that's how much she liked Vince as a person. And so, that sort of thing, the whole band being killed off, the one guy being a father to two daughters, it's like, those people still died, and that affects a ton of people on the planet because they were actually popular. People did care, especially with the way Lucifer was kind of trying to set everything up with the news and stuff, like, oh, the whole band's reunited. So that would, they basically, the whole episode was them talking about, like, oh, everyone's talking about this, everyone's, loving you guys and thinking about this and wanting to, see you guys and this and that. And then they all just die like this crazy thing. And Sam was right. It was like, it's not really a loss, or it's not a win. We're losing slowly. And I was like, man, he's definitely not wrong. It wasn't truly the plan to actually save Vince, but they also didn't save anyone else in that band. Like, everybody else died. Just the, the cultural effect of that, like Sam was explaining, it has a serious impact. And now Lucifer is going on to somewhere else without even a plan. He's just being like the crazy devil. He's just killing people just to do whatever he wants to do. If he happens to kill people, he does. If not, then so be it. But he's just kind of going through and playing a game at this point, and that has me excited. Like, he has no true plan. Also, because I want to mention this before I forget, but they had Cass say ass butt, which I thought was awesome. I was like, that was a phenomenal reference. And I think that's when it really hit me, was when he said that, and I was like, oh crap, this is like some season 5 type stuff. Like, this is everyone together. Well, switch some characters in and out, of course, but it was just like, crap, this is a serious moment. And instead of it being the ultimate plan to bring about the apocalypse, instead the devil's just like, you know what, F it. Like, I made up with my father, and then what happens? He leaves. After all this time being gone, he's gone again. He needed me, and then he got rid of me, and then he ditched all of us. So why not? Why shouldn't I do whatever I want to do? And he was actually upset, and I love that as well, because that's not a sign of the devil, we've ever seen. So I loved it. I was like, that was a great ending. I personally I thought it was a great ending where he was genuinely upset. Like after all this time, we made up. Excuse me, and he needed me. He used me. He used all of you guys too. He even says like he used all of us, and then he ditched all of us as well. Like he did all this stuff as if we mattered, and then he took off. So like Lucifer felt like clearly we don't matter as much as he was trying to act like we did. So I'm not gonna care anymore. I'm gonna destroy his already broken toys, and I just love that idea. So Lucifer is, I don't know. Like I'm curious how this is gonna play out because we still, of course, have the Men of Letters stuff. So I'm curious if they're gonna show up because with Rowena showing up, I assume they're still gonna be dealing with Lucifer in the next episode. But it could be some Men of Letters stuff. So we have the Men of Letters as like our main villains, I guess. It's really hard to say at this point because now we have Lucifer just going nuts. He doesn't even have a plan. So it's kind of hard to say who's worse in that situation because it could be Lucifer, but 90% of this episode was just him effing around. He wasn't really killing anybody until like the last, that last little minute. So it's like, it's hard to say which is truly worse. And then you got the Men of Letters just going nuts and doing stupid crap trying to attack 17, even though they could just be like, hey, we want to help, but instead they want to like torture help, which is really weird. So who knows where that's headed? But we have Lucifer, we have the Men of Letters, and it's going to be interesting to see how they balance out who's truly more important as the villain. I would assume somehow it's going to be like, hey, Lucifer's still out. We need to quit this crap and just team up because that makes the most sense to me. Is like the Men of Letters don't want Lucifer free. No one wants Lucifer free. So it seems like that should be easy enough to say, hey, let's just work together. But at the same time, Sam and Dean they can't make friends. Once somebody's an enemy to them, it's so rare. It's so rare for them to become an ally. It's just like you got Crowley, and that's pretty much it. Like Lucifer will do his thing because it'll help him, and that's kind of how they do it. They always have they'll have their temporary allies, but it's so rare that they ever have permanent allies. And even Crowley's technically a temporary ally. He's just like, I kind of like you guys a bunch. That was another funny scene too, and he's like, hey, you guys don't call, you don't write, and Dean was just like, yeah, we don't care. And I just thought that was so funny the way he said it. Was like, yeah, well, we don't care. So I'm very curious how this is going to play out with the Men of Letters and how things are now going to go with Lucifer, which who knows how they're going to go because he doesn't even have a plan. He's just causing chaos. So I'm certainly excited for it. I love this episode. Personally, I felt this could have been the mid-season finale because I enjoyed it so much, but that just has me more excited for the next episode. So I am very curious how they're going to end off this half of the season. What's going to be in the next episode? Like, are they going to go back to the Men of Letters? Is it going to be more Lucifer stuff? Who's going to be Lucifer now? Because that was kind of the big thing, is that we had... I don't remember the guy's actual name, but he was an actual rock star. And so I thought he was going to be in it, until they actually killed him. But it's like, no, he still counted as just one of the vessels just for multiple episodes. And so it was just like a special thing. So with him being gone, I'm curious if we're even going to see a lot of Lucifer. Because that was like the big story, was that we're going to have this specific actor play him. So are we going to go back to Mark Pellegrino, or... just in general, I'm kind of confused. I don't know how they're going to play it, because I thought the whole point of having the actor was going to be to really utilize him, but it was just a special thing for a few episodes, so hard to say where it's headed, but I thought this was a great episode. Like I said, very excited for the mid-season finale, but definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below, let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and honestly, I just wanted to know what you guys think about the devil not having a plan. Like, we've never really seen Lucifer without some sort of goal. Like, that's honestly what I was curious about, because I was like, I wonder where they're taking this thing with Lucifer. Like, what's he trying to do, or what's he gonna do? And then it's like, there is no plan, and I kind of love that. It's like, he doesn't have a goal to start the apocalypse again, or anything like that. It's not going through the seals and all that stuff. He's just like, hey, I tried, made up with my dad, and then he took off 2 minutes later, basically. So I'm just gonna have some fun. I'm gonna do whatever the heck I want to do. So they just kind of throw it up in the air. They can do whatever they want with that, and that has me super excited. So I don't know where it's headed myself because there is no actual plan to it. He's just gonna do some chaotic stuff and then minute letters on the side there. So don't know where it's headed, but I know I'm excited to see it now based off of this episode and everything they've done. I'm super excited. I don't think I shouldn't say I've never been this excited. Once, I mean, it was Lucifer in general, so Lucifer's like the peak. So, well, God, I guess was the peak. But, Lucifer is a villain. It's about as awesome as it gets, and now he doesn't even have a plan. He's just chaos. So, who knows where it's headed? I know I'm excited for it, but like I said, I want to know where you guys think it's headed. If you have any speculations or just anything you guys want to see from Lucifer, I would love to know that as well. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.